Since arguably the first science fiction novel, Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, a tale of a mad scientist's attempt to create life, writers and filmmakers have tried to reconcile the advancements of sciences with the dangers of going too far.
I know that you and Frank were planning to disconnect me.
In the book, Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein is trying to pursue a noble achievement in science by reanimating dead body parts. This is controversial though, because as he is trying to pursue a cheat of death, many think that he is actually playing God, and this could have negative consequences. These negative consequences happen when the creature is released into the wild and into society, and it causes death and destruction. In the movie Ex Machina, Caleb, who's a software engineer, wins a contest to go to the CEO of that tech company's house. At the CEO's house, he learns that he's actually there to perform tests on a robot to see whether that robot has human consciousness and emotions. While he's there, the robot tricks Caleb and the CEO, it kills the CEO, and leaves Caleb locked in a room where Caleb will die. The robot then gets into society.
As you can see, the story of Frankenstein has some serious longevity to its relevance. But why? What makes it still be popular after all these years? Back when it was written, Shelley was taking the stuff that was in the scientific community and taking it to what many people thought was its logical conclusion. But is it really even scientific fiction anymore? Now we have Dr. Sergio Canavero, who's going to be performing the first head transplant next year. The University of Pittsburgh is working on reviving patients after they've been dead for 2 hours from cardiac arrest. And stem cell research is making it possible to be your very own organ donor. With all these ideas going around, Frankenstein might not be a work of fiction anymore. Pretty soon it might be a documentary. Now, Ex Machina is so popular because it's doing what Mary Shelley did and taking this sort of phenomenon and applying it to a different thing. So when you have tech giants like Google and Amazon that know what you want before you even know what you want, you have robots that can clean your house, drones that deliver your mail. Is it really that crazy to think that something like Ava might come around in a year or two?
You feel bad for Ava? Feel bad for yourself, man. One day the AIs are gonna look back on us the same way we look at fossil skeletons in the plains of Africa. An upright ape living in dust with crude language and tools, all set for extinction.
As we saw in this previous scene, Nathan wasn't very scared of creating a world with robots instead of humans. In fact, he seemed like he wanted it to happen. He was psychopathic about it.
And like Frankenstein, it shows this obsession of not caring about the well-being of society more than pushing the limits of the scientific creation and them wanting to play God.
This God complex appeals to the fears of the audience because these creations become so powerful and so smart that even their creators cannot contain them.
And if they can't contain them, who will?
It is what it is. It's Promethean, man.
With Ex Machina, we see a much more modern role of this Frankenstein-type character as it's smarter and gets out of this almost trap, whereas Frankenstein was just released into society.
The reason that Ava gets out of this trap is scary is because it's a much more realistic scenario, because we now take measures to protect our scientific advancements from hurting society. So that's why she's shown in this sort of bunker-like research facility. But the fact that she can get out really does add a real element of fear, because it's something that could happen.
And it's definitely more relatable to the times. This super smart robot just literally outsmarted the smartest guy that we know of on the face of the earth, and now found her way out, and it's just almost this Pandora's box being opened of we don't know what kind of damage she can do.
And that's why Ava's release into society is the last scene into the movie. We don't actually see whether or how she would hurt society, we just see that she's about to enter it. And that's
that adds to the fear because we really do imagine it, the possibilities of what that could do.
And the fear of not knowing is horrible.
Obviously, the sciences in these texts are very different, but the overarching theme of creating a species more powerful than humans that will eventually lead to the extinction of humans is still present in both. Our fear in exploring the unknown will never be extinguished.